Welcome in, everyone. It is episode 36. We will probably cut that out in post. Um, Thank you, Penny, for the 500. Yes, tonight is my 500th stream on Twitch,
Yeah.
so I thought we would do something a little fun tonight. I wanted to, because, we are without Viper, as you can see,
Mm-hmm.
and we don't really have a lot of topics tonight. I thought maybe we could get some more interactivity, and, just field some questions, chat with the audience, and just talk about stuff in general. Penny here was our first guest. Yeah, first guest on the podcast
Mm-hmm.
all the way back in September, I think,
Pepperidge Farm
last year.
remembers.
Pepperidge Farm. So
Mhm.
long-time supporter of the show.
Mhm.
But anyway, it is Friday, April 17th, 2026 at 9:43 p.m. A little late tonight because not only is it my 500th stream, it's also my son's birthday. He turned 4 today, and we took him out for his birthday, so we're a little late getting home, but it was a good time. But
Did you
anyway,
end up taking him to Twin Peaks or Hooters, or did you just go to the good old-fashioned Chunky Cheese?
went to Build-A-Bear and
There's no food. There's no food there.
and the Sparrow
Oh.
and had a Stromboli.
I mean, actually, that does sound pretty great. I'm not
Which
gonna lie.
I've never understood that. I hate when we borrow terms from other languages for like our food and stuff, and we can't get the grammatical like. So like Stromboli,
Mhm.
it literally is a plural word. You wouldn't say I need a Stromboli if you were saying that
What you
you're
saying?
meaning multiples. Strombolo would be singular. Stromboli is plural. And the
Oh.
same thing for panini, which is hilarious because that also panino means sandwich. So when you say I need a panini, you're saying I need a sandwiches.
Makes me think of that song that goes, I like to eat
Oh God.
apples and bananas.
Yeah, we're very well familiar with that one in this house.
Oh, I am too. I had my ukulele club play it at a performance. Ironically, the performance tomorrow, same performance, but it's not like a time trip. I've played it before at this performance, and it kind of haunted me just because that song is catchy as it is annoying.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
No, I got very
Oh, wait.
familiar with most of this stuff a few years ago. When my oldest son was born, for the first year, we didn't actually have like legitimate childcare. My aunt
Mhm,
would like come to our house and watch him because she had just retired.
mhm.
So it was pretty much a one-on-one with those two for his first year, and then going right into the school year, August of 23. She had to back out because of health issues. So we had to find a new situation, and we found someone to watch him for about a week, and then she had to back out because of her school because she was a high schooler, basically babysitting. And then we found an actual daycare. And that's when we started finding things like Jack Hartman and Miss Rachel and all these things. So my life changed a whole lot after all of that.
Not
Um,
for the better.
but no, the kids enjoy it. The youngest one he hasn't watched as much. He still watches it, but not nearly as much as the oldest one did. He doesn't watch TV as much as the oldest, and that's probably for a good thing. But yeah, I don't know. We got very well acquainted with those things. We never did do the Cocoa Melon thing, but we have done Miss Rachel and Hey Bear and
See, I don't know Hey Bear, and I
Hey.
only know of Miss Rachel, and
Mhm.
I just never was a thing. There was one that Liz really, really liked when she was younger, and to be brutally honest, she still uses it sometimes to go to sleep just for
Mhm.
music. But it's Little Baby Bum, and that sounds really odd to say, but it would always be. It was kind of a Cocomelon ripoff, and it's British, so it would go Little Baby Bum like that. And then it would have, folk songs, nursery rhymes, all that jazz. And me
Yeah.
being the elementary school musician that I am, it's kind of nice to have things like that, even if they have all these weird, like, CG music videos that go with them, because they're getting exposed to stuff that they should be, as opposed to uh, just not knowing it. Like with the beginning band books, there's all these folk songs like littered through them. You did it, I did it, Vipe did it. Um, and that's kind of how I was exposed to them when I was a kid, because I didn't really get. I mean, I didn't know what hot cross buns was, but I sure as heck knew it whenever I played it in sixth grade band.
I was about to
So
say, we knew it hot cross buns if you had the Standard of Excellence book.
I was a standard of excellence boy. So
the red book, then the blue book, then the green book. Was that the correct order, if I remember?
yes,
Correctly?
red, red, blue, green.
Yep.
And really, to be
Still got
brutally
mine.
honest, I don't remember getting. I remember doing the red book, but then I don't really remember doing any sort of bookwork after that. I remember just
I
pieces.
I fairly remember the blue, but I don't remember doing too much in the green. I know I have them all, but I don't remember
Mhm,
much about the green.
mhm.
But I do remember as a percussionist, it was very it's like the same kind of lesson as a wind instrument player, but we're like percussion is a different kind of instrument. Whereas a wind and a string instrument, a lot of the uphill battle immediately comes from learning how to make a sound first, whereas percussion is like, yeah, we got this. So then it felt like for the first year was, okay, this is boring. So going through the red book for us was just like tap, tap, rest, rest. Like this is boring, and we hated it. But I could imagine, as a wind instrument player, that is hard to start with. Just getting a tone is a challenge in itself.
My
Um,
percussionist this year. Hey, Vipe. The percussionist this
Piper.
year, and it's been every time for a decade. I'll say, hey, we've done a lot of this in our normal classroom stuff, but it's a different beast entirely because you don't have to deal with really just one instrument. You kind of have this whole new world. But then
Mhm.
the takeaway after that is you sometimes have to do some dirty work and just have a tambourine that plays on beats 2 and 4. Like the performance we're doing tomorrow, I had one of my kids, he was a clarinet player, and after Christmas, we needed a percussion player because for some strange reason, nobody wanted to play percussion at one of my 2 schools. And so he slid into percussion, and he's doing fine because he does fine for me in class. And we're getting ready for this little setup of 4 songs, and one of them at the very end's bingo. And, sidebar, I'm gonna crack jokes in between performance songs for them, so that way they can flip pages and they have little clips for their books, and
Mhm.
they can, like, catch a breath because 'cause they're gonna be worn out after 15 minutes of playing. But they do bingo at the end, and my running gag is, "So, my question to you, audience, is bingo the name of the dog or the name of the farmer?" And then I'll be like, "Ha ha," and turn around and play. But this percussion kid, he's one of 2. One school's got one percussion, one's got the other. I'm going a long way around the story, but he'll just sit there with his tambourine, and I'll use my plate from dinner as an example. Dun 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 dun
Yeah.
dun 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 dun. And you can just see his eyes glazing over.
Oh, yeah.
but but I said sometimes you got to get in the dirty work. But it'll pay off in the end because some of them have seen some YouTube videos or TikToks of like these 4 or 5 or 6 mounts at a time. They're like, "When do we get to that?" And I said,
Yeah.
"Long after you've left me, thank God." Yeah, yeah, Vipe, paying your dues, boy. If
Keith
you
M
said essential
says
elements,
Sawmill Creek. I remember the name. I don't remember much about it, but I remember a lot of those because a lot of the very first exercises had very generic names, and then they would
yeah, they
randomly have like very specific names, but it would be like the same exercise was like, this one is beat, beat, rest, beat. The next one is beat, rest, beat, beat. And it's like you're just learning permutations of when to actually play a note and rest, but they all had like these really specific names. Um, Essential Elements, I think I used it before, but we were very much a standard of excellence. We got, like, all of our supplies from Lunsford's, um, but, like, that's who we used was Essential Elements for all of our
I
stuff.
crack up I crack up
Or
because I used to work at
Standard
a
of Excellence,
local
sorry.
Knox a local Knox well, you already said Lunsford. I worked at Rush's Music in Knoxville,
Mhm,
for, about 2.5 or 3 years before I got my teaching gig, and, I forgot what was oh, yeah, that's what it was. With Essential Elements, they had an Essential Elements, and then in the year 2000, they said, "You know what this needs? the year 2000 put on the title. And then as of 2015, we still had copies of Essential Elements 2000. And then in 2026, I still randomly see Essential Elements 2000. At least they don't like release it every year like they do Madden games or anything. I mean, it's not like you can really improve that well, really, with the Madden games, you don't improve that drastically except one or two little things and a roster upgrade, and then they slap another $90 price tag on it. But yeah, I was not an Essential Elements boy. I teach through not what did you say? Tradition? Yeah, no, Standard of Excellence.
Standard of Excellence,
The
yeah.
same dude now has released kind of like this techie version called Tradition of Excellence, which ironically is our school district's like little motto or whatever. So yeah, so it's kind of worked out well because my director of school saw it one time. She goes, "How about that?" So yeah, it's the same guys that wrote Standard. It's just got tech stuff, and you can like I've got an interactive like. I keep saying like today. I've been around my sixth graders too much this week. It's been a testing week this week too, so I've wanted to pull my hair out.
Dr. Simile 35.
Yeah. But yeah, I lost my train of thought again. I'm sorry, man. But
you're good. We're just chilling, man.
Yeah. I went off on a tangent. I'm on a rampage. Oh yeah, that's what it was. Tradition getting all sorts of like technology stuff here. I'm liking it again. I do have this little app where I can click on my desktop and it just pulls up the whole conductor score. And the kids, the first time they see that, they go, "Oh my God, how do you read that?" I said, honestly, I still struggle with it a little bit, but I can do it a lot better than you right now. So let's go. And I tell my students, I want to be able to be as good as you as a sixth grader on any of these instruments. But the second you leave and you keep going and you get better, you're going to blow circles around me. Unless you play trumpet, then it sucks to be you because I'm going to be significantly better for a long time. But anything else, yeah, you'll smoke me. So
one of my favorite things in school band and like being in middle and high school was like there were certain pieces, like I don't know if how your school was, but our school, I don't know if it was maybe a budgetary issue or our director just really liked certain pieces of music and stuck with them, but it wasn't uncommon for us to play the same pieces of music back to back in years, and we got used to some of them, so we like got really big to it. And Keith here will know this one very well. This was one of his favorites was Prairie Song. I'm not sure if you're familiar with Prairie Song, but we enjoyed that one quite a bit. I think it was the snare drum was probably the most interesting part in the percussion section for that one. But one of my favorite ones was a piece long before the Disney movie existed, Encanto. And I don't know if you know Encanto.
Boy, that sounds familiar.
It was a really cool little piece, and I don't know, we didn't play it a whole lot, but I do remember going to a band clinic, and one of the bands was playing it, and I was like, "It's Encanto! They're playing Encanto! I want to play that!" And the melody of it was like da 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 da.
That sounds familiar.
It was a really cool little piece, and I always loved it. But I was like, I just remember going to that clinic, and I hear it, and I was like, Encanto! Or we called it Encanto. I didn't realize it was Spanish, but at the time, but. Yeah, those are my favorites. I love that one. We played some cool stuff, though.
It could have been my high school band playing Encanto, and then you would have been like, "Hey, look at that."
Your high school band was a clinic, though.
A clinic? High school clinic or college? I don't even know.
It was like high school, but it was like the band clinic where all the kids from all the different schools come together and you join the bands.
Oh yeah, I didn't do that then. Okay,
yeah.
Sorry, I was thinking of festival.
No, a concert festival. No, I only think we ever did that once or twice.
I never did the individual. Here, come in here and play a scale backwards on fire with one arm. Screw that crap. I should have done it as a kid, and I think Carson Newman was one of the first to do a college one for All-State, and I was like next to last trumpet, and I was like, whatever. Nowadays, 37-year-old Doc, which I should change my name to Dr. Janitor 37, but I digress. I am totally
Twitch handle every single year.
I should. I really should. because my old PlayStation, is it still that? I might still be Dr. Janitor 20. That's how old I am. Oh,
Oh,
God.
Jesus.
Oh, I think I am Dr. Janitor 20. I'm getting off on a tangent again. I don't mind playing third trumpet. Third
Yeah.
trumpet is God's work. It is good, honest work. And I remember my high school director when I was pulling the weight for third trumpet. Me and another buddy were doing stuff, and the higher up trumpets weren't. They were just sucking up. One Friday night before a football game, we were practicing outside. I was like locked in front of him before a pregame practice thing, and he's standing up there conducting for the national anthem. And so he like stops because we're crapping all over the national anthem, and he tells like 3 or 4 trumpets beside me to hit the deck. And then he looks at me and he goes, thank you for providing a good, strong part, da-da-da, compliment. And I'm like, oh yeah. So it sticks out in my head. He just barrels down right at me, and I'm like, I'm acknowledged. So
Viper says, "Do you remember in college during our wind class we would rip notes on horn and make Pat so mad?" I think that was more aimed at you because I was not in your section. But
oh my God, no, we had methods class, right? So yeah, you weren't. We had gotten through like 90% of our stuff by the time you rolled in because we were
yeah,
kind of we were
I
almost
started your last. You didn't do an extra semester, did you? Oh, you
Yep,
did?
I did a
Okay.
victory. I did a victory lap.
Then I got in on your first semester of your senior year. So we had 3 semesters together then.
Yeah.
No,
Hmm?
maybe. I think we only had 1 semester together. I think I started in your super senior year. I don't remember.
Super senior.
Did you graduate in
motherfucker.
fall of 11 or fall of 12?
Spring of 12.
Spring of 12.
Yeah.
Oh, did you do an entire extra year then?
Well, the last semester was the per student teaching.
Okay,
Like,
then I
almost said
started in
per-
your
per-
super senior year then because my first semester with you was fall of 11.
That makes
So,
sense.
okay.
That checks.
So yeah, you were pretty much done with most of your stuff.
Yeah, I was victory lapping with getting all sorts of choral stuff like
Yeah.
choral methods where I had no idea what the hell I was doing, and elementary music methods where I didn't know what the hell I was doing. But it is kind of fun because one of the 3 people in that elementary methods class I still see semi-regularly at workshops and stuff.
Yeah.
She is the aforementioned Pat's daughter-in-law, which is pretty fun. So she's a fun person. She's good peeps.
She is.
I won't name drop her just in case she doesn't want to be on the interwebs. But we'll name drop the heck out of Pat Bivens. But hey, Pat.
Maybe we shouldn't name drop anyone, but
I mean, hey, Bat Pivens.
Bat Pivens. Hey,
No,
we're not doing that
no,
game
no.
anymore. Not after I accidentally said a racial slur and didn't mean to.
True.
That was one of the worst nights on this podcast.
Well, now they're going to know about it because you're going to have to go and cut it out again.
I already
didn't say it, though.
I didn't say it, and I already cut it out last time.
That's true.
Um,
Oh man.
Keith says Kanto always reminded him of some kind of adventure in his head. Yeah, it had a very adventurous. For a Spanish word, it did not feel very Spanish, but it did feel very enchanted. Which Encanto does mean like enchantment, doesn't it?
Enchanted
or something like that. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. So that fits at least.
Yeah. Well, if it's look, I don't know. I don't want to be controversial or anything weird there, but it probably didn't sound very, you said Spanishy, because probably it was just some white dude writing it going, oh, this sounds like that. It's kind of like, it's kind of like how people in the 90s were like, oh, well, Mulan. Okay. What should we write? Who can we, have write this? And, oh, it's these dudes. Okay. Do they have any sort? Are they from that heritage or background or whatever? No, they're 2 dudes from Hollywood that think they know the style of this movie. And I'll be the first to say that I really love Mulan and I really love stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, you maybe probably wanted to bring somebody in. I don't think they had any ill intent towards it either. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And then I keep thinking back to like my students and I go, because kids will name off. They'll say, "Hey, what's your favorite band? What's your favorite this? What's your favorite that?" And I keep naming people. I'm like, they're all dudes, and they're all white dudes. And then
Penny
I
Glenn
go,
says, Encanto was written by Lin-Manuel Miranda. Yes, we're referring to something else. We're
so
referring
there's
to
a
an
different Encanto. Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
we're
yes.
referring to an old band piece from probably written in the 90s or 2000s.
Yeah, I think I need to go on Lord Google and find that now.
Yeah, I was actually about to do that. But that leads me into another question that will actually lead us into I guess we can call it our first interactive viewer content. So
Robert
everyone,
W. Smith. Ah,
Robert W.
that's
Smith.
that's exactly what I was talking about right there. Is he the one that got in trouble for like shadow writing as a woman?
Dude, I
Or
don't know, but that's
handwrite?
interesting.
Oh, it's someone who's really popular in the band music world, where he wrote as like an as a is Oriental the wrong word I'm looking for here? He wrote
That is the wrong word now, but
okay. I can't think of the word. I'm not trying to be offended. I'm not trying to say the
you're
bad word.
good. No one
Yeah.
thinks bad intent from you.
Yeah, no, they just think I'm stupid because I don't know words.
Rather be stupid than
But it was one of one of these band composers that was trying to monetize several years back that had, hey, well, let's do all female composers, or let's do things from this heritage or that heritage, or the alphabet folks with, hey, let's program some of these in. Um, and then one dude got caught because he was, what's the word, shadow writing under a woman's name or something like that. And
we'll have to look into that. That'll be something we can research and talk about on next week's episode. But
I found it. I found it.
okay, never mind. Who was
I
it?
can tell you later. We can bring it up in green room if you want. So
Okay, we'll bring it back up next time. But so the topic that I wanted to bring up is tonight I want to have some posit some questions, do some discussion,
yeah.
basically bring up a topic, let the viewers chime in their response. And you touched on something about, people who don't belong to an ethnic group writing music to represent that ethnic group and bring people in. So when I was in grad school, I had a teacher who I won't name drop. She was a good teacher. She was my musicology professor. And one of the big things that we really got out of that musicology class was the term of musical exoticism. And I don't know if you're familiar with that, but rather than just give you a crazy definition of it, I'm just actually going to give you the actual definition of it instead of trying to explain it in my own weird way.
Webster's Dictionary defines
It's
this as
a comprehensive study of how Western music has portrayed exotic cultures from the Baroque era to the present, analyzing its connections to colonialism, Orientalism, and globalization through specific works. So basically, a lot of that class involved breaking down composers who took ideas from other cultures and try to convey them through I don't know if you call it a myopic lens, of like, this is my interpretation of what Tuvan throat singing sounds like, or stuff like that. And a good example is Dvorak, when he did his like New World Symphony and his what was it, the other collection he did of something. But that I say all that because that class made me so afraid to even remotely look at other cultures' music because I'm like, am I appropriating things? And it made me I was like, I don't want to touch it. So, a few years ago, I started making like this hypothetical soundtrack for a video game.
mhm.
And where it's like, because when I was in college, undergrad, my cousin and I played a lot of Minecraft together. So we made this Pokemon world inside of Minecraft. And I was like, what if I wrote a soundtrack for this? So I kind of dabbled with it. And then after grad school, I actually really started working on it. But it came down to a point where I was like, okay, I want some music for, this jungle area. I want some music for this volcano. I want some music for this desert. But I was like, okay, well, if I want desert music, I want sounds that are associated with the desert. So I got things like the darbuka and the udu and instruments like that. But at the same time, I'm like, if I write this, am I appropriating Middle Eastern music, and I was like really just trying to research, listening to these sounds and composers, and like trying to do it in the most tasteful way possible. I'm like, I still don't know if I'm doing it right. So my question is, what do you think is the appropriate way to do it? Is there an appropriate way to do it, or should you not do it? Because it seems, again, I don't want to sound like you said a minute ago. You don't want to sound like this is racial, but it seems like some people can get away with it and some people can't. And
And why is that? I don't.
is there ever a
Yeah.
time when, like, if you do it tastefully, do you have to, work with someone who understands the culture, or as long? I mean, it's not like uh, obviously a great example of doing it distastefully would be like, hey, listen, it's Chinese music, and you just get like start playing a pentatonic scale. That's obviously not good
A lot of my
taste.
kids, when they notice doing something
Mhm.
pentatonic, I'll have like 5 bar setup on the xylophone, and they'll go,
Yeah.
"Hey, that sounds Japanese," or that's, and I get
Mhm.
that, and they're 7 years old, so whatever.
Right.
I don't know. I
So like,
think
mm,
okay, so I've been exposed to this a lot as a music educator now, and I get a lot of the conversations about these. And me coming in as totally not, I say ignorant as in I'm not opposed to hearing, sides to this, but I think there's a difference between, there with a lot of the people I run with education, some of them are really into it's got to be like what you meant to the cultural appropriation, right?
yeah.
It's I think it's how you approach it too.
Mhm.
Um, I think everybody, at least, I think if there's well intent without having to, you don't need to go, man, this is such a quagmire. I mean, I can't even like form the words right.
Mhm.
Um, I think if it's well intent and if you maybe research it yourself and that includes pulling other people in,
Yeah.
then I think that should be okay and permissible. And I say all this to say too, there's with Facebook, of course, social media is kind of a awful, awful thing nowadays, and I'm more leaning towards I wish we'd never had it. But these issues come up all the time in a lot of these education and educator groups, and some people who are talking and screaming and virtue signaling about the appropriation of it. Some of
Right.
the people who are a part of that
Yeah.
look at it and go, "Dude, it's not a big deal." So
Right.
s-
And
it's I think it depends on the person and how tightly wound they are, and
mhm.
maybe they've had bad experiences with it in the past too. So it's much more than just, "Hey, is this okay?" I think
Yeah.
there's a lot of baggage to it, and that's what makes it a lot more dicey. For me to even like stumble with what I'm saying right now, I am word salading the hell out of this. But
I know what you're saying. A
yeah,
lot of, like, again, not to overgeneralize and put anyone in a box, but it seems a lot of times, for one, it always comes down to, is it good faith or bad faith? Are you doing it to be malicious? Are you doing it out of respect? Are you doing it out of, like, don't say, I want to write with the zither because I think it sounds exotic, versus I want to write with the zither because I want to convey a certain emotion that I've only heard with zither music, and it has a very nice timbre that I would like to explore the limits of, not because I'm trying to make music from this area. But
and
it
that
does,
just the way you said it just makes so much more sense in my brain. But
it seems like a lot of people who get offended are not people who are on the receiving end of that. It seems like a lot of people do. It's like a lot of people who get offended tend to be getting offended on behalf of someone who is not offended. And and that's a touchy thing too, because I'm like, everyone has the right to be upset about something, whether or not you're directly affected. Like, for instance, I I love, uh, you know, pizza, and someone else is like, I love pizza. And then the third person is like, I don't like pizza. Should I feel offended because person B likes pizza and person doesn't? like pizza, even though I like pizza too. I mean, it's not my business. But if, they're saying something like, only terrible people like pizza, I'd be like, "Oh, hey, hold on a minute." You you like, I'll defend you, but at the same time, it's like, you have to see where you I don't know what I'm trying to say. It's like,
It's hard,
ha
man. We
have
have
a
stepped in it big
communication.
time when we got in here.
I know.
But
Basically,
it's
what
okay. It's just hard to it's hard to interpret. It's hard to
what
just
I think what I'm trying to say is I think that whether it be for music or identity or anything we're talking about, rather than pearl clutching, let's have a conversation. If you were offended by something, let's talk about why you're offended by it and what we could do to not offend each other and actually, have a dialogue. Because I don't think most people write music that sounds racially or ethnically charged. I think they hear a sound they really like and they want to explore that. Because, like, I mean, again, far be it from me because I am not from other cultures, but if you hear a certain type of instrument that is only associated with one region in the world, I don't think that you should say only that region of the world has a monopoly on using that instrument. It's like saying,
yeah,
if
that's a
I
whole
want to
bunch
learn
of gatekeeping there that's unnecessary.
it's like if I want to learn how to play, an ocarina, I should be allowed to, not even though I was, born in North America, but I shouldn't be able to say I shouldn't be like, "Look at my instrument, look at my bagpipes. I'm Scottish now." It's like,
Yeah,
it
I get
it's
that.
it's a different kind of thing. I don't know. But anyway, not to I preface this whole thing as like, let's ask viewer questions, and then here's Keith comments 20 minutes ago, and I'm like, oh yeah, I need to acknowledge you. Yes, you believe music in his expression, so people will express their perspectives in a different way. See no problem with that. I mean, and I don't disagree with that. It's a lot of it has to do with intention. How do you want to express that music? Like, not to shill and plug my own music, but like I was saying earlier,
Bandcamp.com.
bandcamp.com/, all the article. Um, but some of my music, like 2 pieces in particular, the one I'll really talk about is, it's called Wasteland's Apparition, and I wrote it, to be a desert kind of sound, but I did it using, Duduk, Udu, I can't remember what the wind instrument called. I think it's called a ney. And there's some other and, like, all the instruments are all instruments you would either find in, like, like Pakistan or Saudi Arabia, stuff like that. Not because those are sandy places, but because that is an idea. And while my harmonies or melodic style probably don't actually match the ethnic styling of that music, I didn't just throw a bunch of sounds together and be like, I didn't write a piece of music on my piano and like plug in this instrument. Now it's Middle Eastern. That's not how I did it. I tried to get things that were cohesive and use, like there's this instrument, it's called the darbuka, and it's a percussion instrument. And I tried to use like percussive rhythms that would sound like they would fit in that. And the duduk, if you're not familiar with the duduk, it is a beautiful wind instrument. And the piece starts with a duduk solo, and it's like this very melodic line. And I tried to be tasteful with it. I didn't just say, here's a little melody on my piano. What instrument can I find in the world that sounds good with that? And that was my goal. And I like the piece of music. If it's offensive, I'm sorry, but it was never my intention to be offensive. I just thought it would be a cool blend of sounds from a different culture. But anyways, that was a long-winded thing.
No, it's fine. Before we read Keith's thing, you had mentioned all of these instruments that obviously weren't from Podunk, Tennessee. Spoiler
Mhm.
alert.
Yeah.
Um, in your class or similar classes, did you end up having an introduction to those, or did you just go flipping through the instruments in your sound libraries, or did you kind of do a little mixture of both? Or
I knew some of the instruments from the class. I learned some of them by, just Googling them, but also, I use a lot of different instrument libraries, and one of the ones I use the most is, at least for my orchestra writing, is called East West Quantum Leap, and they have different, sound packs, and one of them is called Silk and one's called Bra, and they actually have them, like, divided by region, so, I think it's I think it's silk, is divided into Europe, Middle East, and North America. And the North America has like a Washburn guitar, a banjo, and stuff like that. And Middle East has like the instruments I mentioned earlier. And that's kind of where I get an idea. But I don't just say, okay, Middle East. These are the only ones I can use because they're obviously related. Because they're not all related. Some of them are from, as far north as Turkey, and some of them are as far south as UAE. Um, but I just try to. I mean, I also look up on YouTube. What are some give me examples of actual ethnic music, and I listen to it, and I listen to their ideas and their expressions, and like, do they have different tonalities, do they have different harmonies, what's their kind of structure of their music? Because we have a very Western centric view on music, and I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but Western music is very different than a lot of the rest of the world. A lot of people don't use the equal temperament tuning system. A lot of people don't use standard harmonies. I mean, even in America, we have two different kind of harmonies. We have standard harmony and we have jazz harmony, with jazz theory is completely different thing. But
Man, don't open that can of worms because I got lost.
some countries and cultures, they don't use standard, like, 4-bar phrases. It's very open-ended. And I don't mean this again in a bad way. There is some music that I can't follow because our brains are very much in line to follow a specific kind of music, and they have been since, the Middle Ages, where Western music theory developed. But that's very interesting to me to listen to it. But again, I'm not out to co-opt it. I want to appreciate it and understand it, but it also creates a more rich sonic palette when you put it with your music and make maybe a fusion palette. What if I take the music from Italy and combine it with the music of, Vietnam, and try to make something new out of it? I'm not trying to bastardize both. I'm trying to create new sonic, expressions that you might never have thought of. That's part of what music is creating new ideas. It's better than rehashing the same thing over and over again.
You only got 12 notes, folks. You gotta spice it up a little bit.
Technically, you only have 12 if you use equal temperament. And I found out something the other day. I have this piano library from Spectrasonics. It's called Keyscape, and you can actually go into the instrument and you can change the temperament, and I can put it up to like 48 tone temperament. So it's like half notes. So it's like really microtonal, and it is crazy, but it's
Oh
really
my
cool.
God.
Anyway, not to get lost in the sauce. Hello, Reaver. I'm not ignoring you. Thank you for the 500th stream. Yes, we are on 500 tonight. I'm loving it. And Keith, it's why you love Outlaw Country. They went against the grain of what Nashville producers thought country should sound like. Waylon Jennings was one of the first stand-up artists, and I love that. I wish we saw more of that today, because country is a very interesting genre, because all genres, roughly every 10 years there is kind of a shakeup, but country is one that is very distinct each decade. Like, you in 80s country versus 90s versus 2000s versus 2010s country, it is unreal how different it is every 10 years. But I think that's cool to watch it evolve, or in some people's eyes, devolve. I'm very, biased. I'm 90s country myself, growing up listening to it in the car with I'm not even a country music person that much, but if you have like an Alan Jackson song on, I'll be like, I'm not changing the channel until it's over.
You were quoting
Pam Tillis earlier.
Yeah.
90s country, telling you.
Pam Tillis, man.
I love 90s country.
Same, man.
Reaver, how's everyone doing now? We're doing good. Just celebrating the 500th stream, doing the podcast. And we're, if you weren't here for the beginning, we are trying to come up with questions and ask the audience their input on them. Our last question was, do you think it's respectable and acceptable to, I don't necessarily say co-opt other countries and ethnicities' musical ideas in your own compositions? Is there a tasteful way to do it, or is it appropriation? And that's where our 20-minute tangent just went to, and we're already almost an hour into this thing. But
that's kind of how we do. We take a thing and we kind of run with it.
Yeah,
for better or worse.
I mean, we have fun.
Yeah, man. We came back full circle to, maybe it's good, maybe, but it just depends, I think, on the person too. Because if we had explained this to 10 different musicians, we'd probably get 10 different responses from, Yeah, that sounds fair to probably getting punched in the face. So
I think it's all depends on the person doing it, their intention, and the listener's response. And you can't make everyone happy. Someone will
no,
always be offended, even if it's for the sake of being offended. But that's what opinions are for. You're allowed to have them.
like a
And
butthole.
but I respect other cultures. I mean, I'll be honest with you, learning some of these instruments in other cultures, I'm honestly jealous that we don't use them more because I can't stop talking about the duduk. If you have not heard of that instrument, please go listen to it later. It is one of the coolest instruments I've ever heard in my life. I love it. It's
There is
spelled
a.
Daduk. It's a really cool
I
instrument.
was going to ask you about that. The duck.
Duduk.
The duck. We have, by we, I mean, I don't know why I said we. I'm apparently split personality. Have a music teacher who is, it's funny. You watch these teachers at, conferences and presentations and all this stuff, and they're like freaking rock star for our slice of the world. And then, you'd see him walking down the street in downtown where we live, and you wouldn't know him from Adam. But this one dude, let's just call him okay. The style of teaching that he's involved with is the Orff work, and it's based out of Germany with Karl Orff and Gunhild Kietmann. I forget her name, but that's kind of Orff's pretty well, and I'm trained with Orff, but higher up on the Orff chain, dude is notorious for walking around with a shofar.
Shofar?
Shofar.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I was thinking of a different thing, but the crumhorn is the one I was thinking of, because shofar, I think my trumpet professor in college had that for a little while, but I was thinking of another one called the crumhorn. And
I know what the crumhorn is.
Yeah, crumhorn's something, man, because we'd be, I've been in a couple of his workshops and stuff before. Cool dude. I have some music teacher friends who are begging me to go hang out for 2 weeks in Augusta in the summer, which is absolutely nuts because I'm not leaving my home for 2 weeks during the summer and not being at home. But dude's going to be there, and I just anytime we see a conference that has a class about recorders, he'll pull that bad boy out, and you just hear recorders in the background doing stuff, and it's a bunch of adults who aren't 7 years old with a recorder in their hand, know what they're doing, and then in the corner you hear him with the crumhorn going, and it's really really funny because you'll look around and go, all right, he's here. Where is he at in the crowd? And you just sense a presence about him. He's almost like a Jedi of the Orff work, so it's really fun.
Cool.
Yeah, man.
What piece Orff was that? Carmina Burana?
Yeah, Carmina Burana.
I was about to say I know the name.
Widely known.
Yeah, I was like, I know it was something very specific from Orff.
I know a whole lot of his other band repertoire, if he even has more band repertoire, but it's the characteristics of an Orff approach to music is basically, sing, play, song. Oh, crap. I can't even think of my own stupid thing. Aspects of teaching music is through play. But yeah, and lots of instrument. Initially, when I first saw it, I thought, oh, it's a lot of percussion instruments with, drums and xylophones and stuff. And there's much more to it than that. But it's a neat little approach, and I've gained a lot more doing these conferences and getting these levels trainings than, to be honest, when I did at school, because I feel like what I initially was catered to was band. And then I fell in love with elementary music when I was student teaching, because it's at first glance you'd think a whole classroom of 5-year-olds running around like chickens with their head cut off would be the most unappealing thing on planet Earth. But when it's done right, it's fun as hell. So it really is. So like even today, even with my older kids having state testing that they were doing, and our schedule was all sorts jacked up, and so classes I would have at 8 a.m, show up at 2 p.m, and then cut by 15 minutes, and it was back to back to back to back to back. I had my 5 and 6-year-old kindergartners come through, and we timed a thing for a performance, and they knocked it out of the park. And then I had grown 6th graders and 5th graders act like poo butts, and I dogged them at the end, and I said, "Hey, how's it feel to know a bunch of 5 and 6-year-olds behaved better than you?" And I'd cut them a little bit of slack because I know we were all stuck in classrooms clicking buttons and writing with pencils and stuff for hours, but that's not enough of an excuse. So this end of the year, man, is just buckle up because after this testing is done, it's just all downhill. So
Yeah. I'm excited for you guys to be out of school, though.
I can't believe this whole school year has gone by so quickly. I feel like I just started it, and now
Yeah.
here we are again. And my daughter's getting ready to go up to the 4th grade now, and I've already pre-booked my daughter's 5th grade teacher because it's kind of a nice teacher perk. You get to be picky and choosy, and anybody at my school I would trust with my daughter. I mean, I've got a great system there.
Yeah.
I idiot stepped into my job, man. It's been nothing short of a miracle. So, yeah. But,
Well, we don't have a lot tonight. As you can see, we are without Viper. He is with us in spirit and chat. But we want to open the floor for the next 15 minutes that we have left, roughly. For you guys, do you have any any questions, any things you'd like to ask us? I mean, we've been going 36 episodes strong. If you've been here for a while, you've kind of know everything about us at this point. But if there's anything you don't know, let's just have fun with it. This would be kind of something I would have liked to save for like a a big more momentous stream,
momental.
like a 100 stream or something. But we're here. We're having a special time tonight. If you got any fun questions for us, it could be related to anything. Let's just do it. It'd be fun.
Hashtag AMA.
Ask me anything.
AUA. Ask us anything.
This year has definitely seemed to go by. It says keep. Yes, it has. It's. I mean, we're already 1/3 of the way through. I've already celebrated my wife and both of my son's birthdays.
My wife.
You got to get that in there at least once tonight.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Only birthday left in our immediate family this year is mine. I mean, technically, my mom's was yesterday, so we've technically already had 4 birthdays in my family, and just the few, and those were just since like late or mid February. So, is that because we're old? Well, I'll be 35 this year, so I'm definitely feeling it. But
Keith, I had a teacher. The 3 of us out of the 6 in our special areas were talking, I think, about how valedictorians in high school aren't a thing anymore because one of them has a college freshman and one I think is approaching senior, and then a couple of the other ladies' kids are in college. They're talking about valedictorians, and I said, I know it seems all important right now, but really, it's almost like thinking about popularity in high school. None of that really matters now because at least with a lot of the high schoolers that I went with that were popular, they're they're not really high on the hog right now as almost 40-year-olds here. And
yeah,
you could see some of them in jail. You could see some of them just slumming it around. And life kind of sucks for a lot of us sometimes. But it just told me that high school is not the end all be all, and it's not as important as you think it is to be the most popular or the most athletic and all that stuff. Now, for some, yeah, sure. But I'd say for the most part, it's not. And then it came to the discussion of how I guess valedictorians were in charge of like class reunions and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I am in no need to go to any of my high school reunions. Could not care less. And then I've dropped the bomb about, I think in 2027 would be shockingly, my 20th high school graduation anniversary. And then one of them looked at me like I had just shot her and said, 20th? Are you serious? Because her high school graduation was in 1987. And then I looked at her and said, I was born 2 years later. And she goes, you shut up right now, Dr. Janitor 35. So which is weird. She knew my gimmick name, but um,
She's obviously a fan of the podcast.
clearly.
She watches
So
your Twitch streams. When's the last time that was?
yeah, a while. My daughter looked at me the other day. She goes, "When do you do Me Dear Brother anymore?" And I said, "Honey, I am so tired. I'm barely able to."
Go get him, girl. Go get him.
Yeah. My daughter's already
Get him back on here.
She's trying. She's trying. Maybe over the summer when I slowly lose my mind being at home.
I think my wife's going to start back next month. I'm trying to I'm going to start squeezing in 7 days a week to finish the games I'm working on, but then I'm like right as soon as school's out I'm like, "Okay, I'm going to start opening it back up for you because we have to share this office." I'm like, "I'm not going to take it away, but I do want
Is
her
that
to
Hello Kitty multiplayer online? Because
It
then
is.
my wife and then your wife can play Hello Kitty together.
Ooh, that'd be cool because they both stream too.
Mm.
Nice. Yeah,
Although I
it is.
never off the ground for Silent Hill 2. So she
Yeah.
got about an hour and a half in and then tried to put the broken record together, and I think it's as far as she got. So, but we'll get back on it eventually.
I did want to touch on the high school thing. Yeah, Keith and I graduated together, and we didn't have our 10-year reunion. I don't know if it got canceled or if everyone just decided not to go to it. I think there was some drama that happened and it just kind of fell apart. But yeah, our 20th reunion is coming up in the next like 3 years, and I threw up in my mouth when I thought of that.
Yeah.
Penny Glenn has a question for us. What was your favorite moment from the past 36 episodes / 500 streams? Well, in terms of 500 streams, that's hard because I've played a lot of games that I enjoyed, but I also enjoyed some of the little projects I did, like the composition, which before we end tonight, I will announce something else in terms of the music thing. But in terms of I've had fun with the Lego streams. I can't say my favorite moment from the 500 streams of like just playing games.
Do you remember every game you had? Do you like keep a log of what
I
you
have a
did?
log of every stream that I've ever done. There was one night that I forgot what I did that night. It's a blank, and I don't know what was
You were
that
half
day.
asleep, maybe? You're like,
I don't remember. It's because I forgot to write it down, and after 30 days, your VODs disappear, so I can't
oh,
for
no.
certain say what it was, but I do have a Word document of every stream I've done.
Sorry.
But to give you an actual answer, favorite episode has to be our Christmas episode. I don't know what number it was, but simply having a horrible Christmas time. That was my favorite episode, and I think that's the one where we went on the diatribe about Rocky IV being the greatest Christmas movie ever.
Viper was on it.
If you haven't watched all of our episodes, I do encourage you. I think that actually is one of our highest viewed episodes. It was a fun one.
Simply having a horrible Christmas.
I loved that episode.
It cracks me up when I hear that title.
That's one of my favorite things too. Is on Sunday morning, Sunday afternoon, just sitting here like I have to publish this episode, but I can't think of a good title. And some of them
nice having that Facebook Messenger ping on Sunday at some point. We're just kind of
title ideas go.
We'll kind of like snowball some really stupid ideas and then every once in a while, we'll have zingers from what some of us said. And I particularly liked my squeaky and clean.
Squeaky. I feel so bad though, because like I'll have an idea in my head. I'm like, I'm going to run it by them. Do you guys have any ideas? And they'll tell me all theirs. And in my head, I'm just like, shut up. This is what I just run over them with mine, but I do try to incorporate them. And I'll bounce off of it. Like last week's, I don't even remember what last week's was, but there are some.
We need to write them all down.
I have them all.
Good.
They're all on YouTube.
I've been doing like Excel sheets. I've been trying to get stuff ready for like end of the year honors day, and so I'm going back and trying to find all the old notepads I took.
Yeah,
and, like, put the kids in there so I don't give the same kid the same damn award 3 times in a row. But I need to do like just organizational stuff like that helps me a lot. Like I do that with the instrument inventory at school, and it made me think of. I wonder if Alden's like keeping track of all that stuff. Like episode 12, simply having a wonderful, squeaky clean time.
Well, that makes me want to do this since we're talking about, past streams to piggyback off what he said. Let's go through some of my favorite episode titles we did.
Do it.
Obviously, episode 14, The Mothman Twerketh. That was one of my favorite ones.
That was a good one.
Where we talked about the Mothman and his gigantic cans. Actually, Simply Having a Horrible Christmas Time was the episode after A Very Rocky for Christmas. So, um, let's see. Tim Meadows' $100 Pizza Catastrophe was a good one.
Oh, yeah,
Um,
because I couldn't remember the difference between Tim Meadows
It's Tim Meadows in the Shawshank Redemption.
Dewey
um,
Cox, man, you don't want none of this.
I
Oh, my
particularly
pencil
liked.
was in my hair for like half an hour. I forgot.
I love our episode with Bitrate Bard, three tours of duty in the community theater.
Oh, yeah.
That was a good
Man,
one.
Bart hung out for the long haul while we were doing all of the technical difficulties.
Literally spent an hour in the green room with us as we were trying, and that was the final night we said goodbye to Collab Cam. And and next week, we jumped into Video Ninja, and it screwed up.
It's been chef's
And
kiss.
it's our only episode that is sub 1 hour because the whole last like 15 minutes crashed. And that one was called Technical Difficulties, the sequel. Because our first time was only on episode 5, and Collab Cam would not work. And when we first started the episode, I was already like fuming. I was in a bad mood. They have screenshots of the camera not working, and I'm just like,
Oh, God, yeah, we got so much dirt on you, man.
and it was just it was a rough time. And of course, Penny here was our first guest on episode 7. Of course,
Lucky number 7.
Bree Storm was our second guest, episode 9. Third guest, Kevo Loco, was episode 12, Happy Halloweenies.
Yeah, we dressed up too.
Actually, he was our fourth guest. Our third guest was the week before, OSHA God, on We're Live,
Yeah.
Pal. And that was one that I let you guys come up with a name, and I didn't even.
Yeah, it's Asha God, because remember, Viper fell into
OSHA,
that.
not OSHA.
Yeah,
Viper
it's
has
a
corrected me.
violation to call him OSHA.
It is Asha, like Oshawott the Pokemon, and Viper has said it so many times that now I'm screwing up, and I'm sorry, Asha, if you're there.
Well, it's spelled OSHA, so instinctively, I think before the pod, we were like, hey, is it OSHA? or
OSHA's an
Asha?
acronym. Why would it be
then I
OSHA?
feel like-
His literal avatar is an Oshawott.
But I thought, man, that's maybe he's like in charge of the whatever he's works for is like safety division, so he's an OSHA God or OSHA God. I even said it the right way this time. So, or maybe he's like in charge of so many violations at his workplace that he is the god of OSHA. Like OSHA calls upon him all the time for jacking stuff up. So,
and one last honorable mention for a title that I really enjoyed was episode 22, Strip Club Sushi and Gas Station Pizza.
strip club sushi and gas station.
It was a great one. We've
Yeah,
had a good time. I feel like it's so early to be doing a retrospective. It's not even been a year yet.
Hey, 36 is good. We're
but-
halfway. It's like
yeah.
celebrating Christmas in July. So
When we hit 52, that will be a wrap on season 1, and we will transition not to necessarily a new format, but of course, a new title theme and maybe some new layouts and stuff just to mix it up a little bit. And Spotify will be organized to a new season. But we're going to try to do it because so far we haven't missed a single week. It may have been a day early, a day late, 2 hours late, something like that. But we always try to do at least one episode a week. It's definitely going to get squirrely coming up. I know in June I'm going to be out of the state for like 10 days. So we're going to have like an episode on a Thursday and then on a Saturday instead of Friday and Friday. It's going to get weird, but we're going to make sure we're always here. If it was an easier way for me to do it on the road, I would. But I don't have any means of doing that when I go to my in-laws. They don't really have a computer that I can work with, and a laptop wouldn't really do this the way I want it to. So I've tried, won't work, but it's whatever.
right.
But I will say one more thing that I'm going to do. This is unrelated to the podcast, but since we're being transparent and talking tonight, I mentioned the music stuff. I haven't done a music stream in a long time because in full transparency, the last time I did one was actually on my 100th stream. And we tried to do a live composition stream, and it didn't really go well. I wasn't really sure what I was doing. It was harder than I thought to try to write music live. That might have been the last one. There might have been one since. But I am going to be doing another music stream on May 1st because I can't tell the exact date of when it was that I finished it or when I defended my thesis, but I do know for a fact that May 1st will make 10 years since the day that it was submitted to the Trace Department, which is I don't know what it stands for, it's an acronym. It's for the University of Tennessee. It's basically where you upload your thesis for anyone to like view and do research, like study of it. You can look at other people's stuff and review it. That was the day that it was uploaded there 10 years ago. So in honor of 10 years since my thesis, I want to do a music stream on Friday, May 1st, and we will do a full listen through my thesis, which was Symphony Number 1, and we'll do like a breakdown of it and talk about it, some of the compositional stuff of it, and I think that would be kind of fun. I've always wanted to share it with you guys, but it's been 10 years since I wrote it. I'd like to think I've gotten better since then. There's definitely parts of it that I'm like, this is very weak, and I would never write it this way again. But you know what? It's out there. I spent a lot of time working on it. I tried to make a better high quality of it. So, let's talk about it. I've never gotten to talk about it. It's one of the only things I've never talked about musically with you guys. So May 1st, we'll probably do the podcast I think we're going to do it the night before on April 30th on a Thursday instead, just to have that night free. Because I do want to have I do want to do it on that day.
But not May 2nd, because I'll be at a wedding.
You scared the absolute crap out of me. Because you got so close to the mic.
I started to play with my mustache, and I went,
but you're good. You're peeking out like crazy right now. Sorry. So yeah, May 1st, we will do a music stream. So if you are interested in talking music about that, because I know that's what tonight turned into, it's screw you.
The guy with a 10-year music education degree.
I think it would be fun. So anyway, one more comment. Penny says, "Duh, waiting for that highlight in episode 7."
Yeah,
we're gonna have you back on in some capacity at some point if you would like to. Anybody who's been on here before, we would love to have you back. It's always fun chatting about who knows what. We haven't had a lot of guests yet. I think we've only had 5 so far. So yeah, if you ever want to be on here and just chat, come on. We'd love to have you.
We dare you.
That's literally what the whole point of the podcast is, to exchange art with other people. So
and we're still peoples. We're still arts.
I'm not saying we don't have fun without other people. We still talk about our own stuff all the time, but we do want to meet new people and listen to what you have to do, hear what you do, and, promote what you got. So
we're
talk about
learning.
Have your people call mine. I don't have an agent. I don't pay him. I can't. He stopped answering. He stopped answering my calls when the paycheck bounced. Oh,
did you
snooze.
Make it out of rubber?
We had 1 second left. I almost missed that snooze.
Good job, Mission Impossible.
Well, anyway, your game. All right, we'll work on it. I know we have one person who said they want to do it at some point.
Yeah, Carl.
If you're out there listening, we're still waiting. We've had other people talk about it too, but it's been crazy for everybody. But we'll try to get something together. But yeah, we're in this for the long haul. We have fun doing this. For me, it's personally a nice palate cleanse from just playing games all week.
It's nice to not talk to. I love my job. Don't get me wrong, but I talk more to 5 through 12-year-old kids than I do adults.
Yeah, and I talk more to
adult. I need to talk to adults.
I spend more time talking to the general public that I don't know than I do my family and friends at this point. So, it's fun. I enjoy this, and you all feel like less strangers than the people that I meet on a daily basis. So, even if you've never been here before, even if you're lurking and have never said a word here, you still feel like less of a stranger to me than the people I meet on a daily basis. Senor Donut, we are about to end, but awesome to have you here. We were just talking about having people on the podcast and talking about some of our past episodes and our guests that we've had. Shout out to Senor Donut. He is an awesome streamer. You go check out his channel. I don't really even know how to explain what goes on over in the donut land. Just gotta check it out. That's all I can say. It's You're fine. And shout out to another great friend and supporter of the channel, Coco Magic Baby, who on 2 separate occasions, like the past year, has popped in as we are ending, and I don't even see the comment until I've already hit end stream, and I'm like, "Oh, I missed you again, Coco." So if you are out there and you hear this, Coco, I saw your message last week. I'm just when I'm getting out of here, I'm all over the place. I'm missing things, but it is okay, Donut. We the only reason we're even ending at this point right now is Jay has to get up in the morning, but also because uh, we have an ad break that we cannot snooze past. So we usually just snooze those ads until we just can't anymore, and then we hop out. We did have a fun discussion, though. We will be uploading this episode to Spotify and YouTube on Sunday. So if you are interested in go checking it out, as always, it will be up. I can't promise it'll be on time because I just suck at that, but I try my best to get it up at some point on Sunday. But if you want to listen to this and any of our other episodes, we will have them live, and they're usually a good little hoot and a half. We have a lot of fun, but we want to rate out as always. So if anyone, Donut, do you have anyone you'd like us to raid to? We're full transparency with the audience, not asking audience opinion, output on things. And we will gladly head
The
over
audience is always right.
if anyone has any suggestions.
Pick Freebird.
Freebird. Pick number 3. Everyone used to say pick number 3.
Pick
Asha
Freebird.
is celebrating that. We were just talking about Asha. Okay, perfect. Then we will go out to Asha. Asha was our 3rd guest on the podcast.
A kitty.
So that's Sebastian's here. Everyone say hi to Sebastian. He is our middle child. He is a
And
cow
I have
cat.
Link. Link's been at my feet this whole time.
This is my best friend in the whole world.
Link meet Sebastian. Sebastian Link.
This is a
Lincoln
great
McStinkerton.
cat. All right. I'll hang out with you in a little bit.
Hear him.
All right. Well, we're going to raid out to Asha now. I hope you all have a great night. I don't know when Viper's going to be back. I will plug him. He is currently, I think, streaming Mafia 2 or 3. He's streaming a Mafia game.
And I did drop the oh crap, what's it called? The power play on him. So we got Extermination for the PS2 coming soon.
Excellent. And I am currently finishing up Final Fantasy 13. I am on chapter 11. Hopefully in about a week, I'll be wrapping up the main story, and then we'll keep doing it. So we're going to raid out now to Asha. Go give them some love. As Donut said, it's their 5-year anniversary on Twitch. Good people. And we will see you. Well, I hope I'll see you tomorrow on my personal stream. If not, we'll see you next Friday on episode 37. Have a wonderful night, guys. We're heading out. See y'all.
Orange Cloud Baby. Orange Cloud Baby, I love it so.